Biden might ban legal weed. Yes, it's clickbait, but it's also kind of true. So we're going to be reacting to a video that Vice did about how Biden basically might ban legal weed. It's pretty scary. We'll see how this video goes. By the way, if you don't know who I am, I'm Chris with THC Extract. If you haven't yet, click the link down below and you can grab an eighth of our flower completely for free. All you got to do is click the link down below to claim the offer. Anyways, let's get right into the video and see what this video is all about by Vice.
Joe Biden is going to ruin the cannabis industry. His plan, if he ever actually becomes president, will instantly criminalize everyone in the industry, while technically still making it legal. And if you give me a second, I can explain how.
Just that right there is scary. He might criminalize everybody in the industry while still making it legal. Sounds like a scam to me, but let's see what this is about.
Of the 823 people who filed to run for president with the Federal Election Committee, there are only 22 Democratic candidates left, and by the time this comes out, I'm sure there will probably be a lot fewer. But of those last remaining Democrats, most of whom are ignoring their actual duties in Congress in their attempts to secure the highest office in the country, one of them is planning on destroying a projected $55 billion cannabis industry. And that person is America's favorite reformed segregationist who also has a black best friend that he loves to remind you about. I'm talking about...
Keep in mind, this video was made before the election. Now Joe Biden is president. And what's interesting is, to my knowledge, Vice is a very liberal, democratic-leaning, media company. So to see them kind of poo-poo on Joe Biden is very interesting.
Joe, there are at least 3 genders Biden. Your man Joe, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr.
This is very political. This is very interesting, but let's just focus on the weed part. Let's not focus on the politics here.
Currently, marijuana is a Schedule I narcotic, making its sale federally illegal as it has been found by the United States government and the DEA as having a high potential for abuse, along with drugs like heroin, LSD, and ecstasy. The scheduling of drugs came from a nearly 50-year-old piece of legislation called the Controlled Substances Act, where everything from cocaine to diarrhea medicine is scheduled based on a potential for abuse and its medical efficacy. The scheduling classifications range from Schedule 1, where marijuana currently sits, to Schedule 5, where, interestingly enough, specific formulations of CBD and cough syrup with small amounts of codeine exist. And where a substance is currently scheduled determines the legality of its sale and how much access to that substance someone can have. Joe Biden's plan for cannabis is to change its current status as a Schedule I narcotic to a Schedule II, which would technically legalize it, but not in the way that we understand marijuana to be legal today. Schedule II narcotics include drugs like cocaine and fentanyl, as well as Adderall and codeine. And while pharmaceuticals with a Schedule II classification can be legally bought and sold, those transactions only exist through highly regulated markets and only after someone obtains a prescription from a medical professional.
So basically, they're just going to eliminate all small business. Any small business that is trying to produce, sell, market, or just enter the industry of cannabis, they're basically going to be eliminated due to high barriers of entry, which is already being done in many states. Like, for example, Illinois, where I'm from, where you need $60,000 for a cannabis license every 2 years, and other stringent regulations. And also, fun fact, oh God, this might get me in trouble, but supposedly, I heard from the grapevine, don't quote me on this, about 80% of the people who are dispensary owners in Illinois are actually friends with the governor. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, what does that mean? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of highly regulated markets out there that have, let's say, barriers to entry to keep regular people out.
This plan cannot work for marijuana because there is no other substance like it.
And it also won't work if you're a small business.
Not only is there an almost 30-year-old fully functioning medical market for weed, but there is a fully functioning recreational market as well.
which means everyone will lose their jobs and prices will go up and all the rich pharmaceutical companies will make more money.
And once marijuana is reclassified as a Schedule II substance, all of that comes to an end. Biden would give federal jurisdiction over all marijuana to the FDA, and the only place you could legally buy weed would be at a pharmacy after you gotten a prescription. Joe Biden would create the big pharma equivalent of cannabis. The state-level legal cannabis markets, as we know them right now, flawed as they may be, would be shut down. The tax revenue that has built schools and resurrected towns, the influx of jobs, and the life-changing therapeutic relief brought to tens of thousands of Americans would all come to an end. The only way for the industry to carry on as it does now would be for cannabis to lobby for the same explicit exemption from the Controlled Substances Act that the alcohol and tobacco industries currently have, where alcohol and tobacco aren't listed as scheduled controlled substances despite their lethality and widespread abuse.
Isn't that interesting that alcohol and big tobacco actually lobbied to the government and said, hey, why don't you just take us off the list and we'll give you all this money? Well, actually, that's probably what's going on now because pharmaceutical companies are saying, hey, why don't you just make it a Schedule II so only we can sell it and we'll give you all this money and then eliminate all the competitors so we get all the sales. It's called hoarding the market to yourself. It's not capitalistic, it's fake capitalism.
And that probably won't happen since cannabis as an industry is nowhere near as politically powerful as tobacco or alcohol. I mean, they literally print the American flag on beer cans in the summer. And for all of the equity programs that are designed to make marijuana accessible and right some of the wrongs of the drug war in the past, all of those efforts would come to an end. While Vice President Biden has gone on the record saying that no one should be in jail for cannabis use, and his campaign has told the press he believes that we need to do more in researching both the positive and negative impacts of weed, his plan wouldn't accomplish that. Even with its status changed to being a Schedule II drug, the plan would all but guarantee reduced research initiatives and encourage more selective prosecution and expand a black market that still exists. America, we need to make sure that Joe Biden doesn't completely derail a $55 billion industry that has actually saved lives. And if you agree, then go to joe30330.com and help me in this fight. Good night and God bless.
I don't know what he meant by that call to action. I think if he's actually trying to get some change, that was a little bit of a weak call to action. But here's gonna be my call to action, okay? So the only way to fight this, okay, if you're pro small business and you actually want to have access to weed at a good price, that's quality because you're also a smart customer that knows how to look at the lab test to see if there's any solvents, pesticides, heavy metals, etc. in it, and you want to protect the hemp industry and where you can buy Delta 8 THC online and get it shipped to 42 states and CBD flower, which is 50 states pretty much, and any other legal state that has recreational marijuana, those small business owners that invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a license in those garden markets. If you want to protect those people and you have influence, I want you to click the link down below and actually reach out to me because I'm creating a network of high people that have influence so we can come together and lobby to the government. Because the only way we could fight the pharmaceutical companies is if we come together, pool our money into a pooled resource, and then literally just lobby to the government ourselves to deregulate this and make it a free market so everyone can participate in weed and we could all have fun together rather than having all the rich people have fun for themselves. So, hope you like this video. I know this is a very interesting topic. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about all of this. Where's your stance on it? Do you think pharmaceutical companies should be the only companies that can sell weed, or do you think everyone should be able to participate? Do you think that you want to grow weed in your basement? Maybe you have the perfect strain that you just bred and cultivated to perfection, and maybe you want to sell it on the farmer's market, right? Maybe you want to turn it into an extract and you want to become a connoisseur and you don't want to deal with all the regulations so you can share the product with people and make a livable wage off that, especially in a time when people are losing jobs and it's hard to make money. I think that cannabis is a huge opportunity for America because literally it's all made in America, so the money and value is being created within the country rather than, possibly exported or whatnot. And it seems that some nasty people are trying to steal the profits and steal the market for themselves and putting people in jail if they try to participate themselves without meeting their high requirements. So if you want to fight against this, click the link down below. I'm going to create a group, and we can all band together and lobby against the government ourselves, and we will fight this. Cheers.